What's going on, everybody? Stony here, of course. And today we have a banger of a video on our hands, okay? We got ranking NFL players as cops, a tier list. Now, I'd like to shout out Lucas Tracy and Bedtime MMA for these video ideas. They're great YouTubers. They're UFC YouTubers. If you'd like to check them out, go ahead. They're big inspirations of mine. But let's get right into it. As you can see, I have all of these beautiful faces down below me of NFL players who I think would make good or bad cops. Now, F tier is going to be bad. You don't want to get caught by this guy. If this guy's pulling you over, well, you might not want to run, but you want to get out of there somehow. And if you get an S tier cop, then you're happy. He's pulling you over, giving you your ticket, getting on with your day as it should be. So let's start things off hot with the sheriff. He's going in an S tier. Who doesn't love Peyton Manning, first of all? He's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He's awesome. He's a family man. And I think that's exactly the type of officer I would like to get pulled over by. Now, in this universe, I'm actually assuming he's a sheriff, given his name is the fucking sheriff. But yeah, I mean, I'd be happy. He's probably going to give you a little lecture on why you got to stop speeding, but it's okay, bro. It's okay. Moving on to someone who I'm iffy on, Rasheed Rice. Now, he's definitely a D or a C tier type of guy. I don't think he's a bad person. I think he's a bad driver. In this hypothetical world where these guys are cops, I mean, I don't want Rasheed Rice getting behind me in a high speed chase. He might lose control, crash into me. He doesn't know how to control his speed. So, you know, if it's just a slight traffic violation, Rasheed Rice might, let you slide. But don't get on him with that highway. In that highway, you're going to be done. Okay. Moving on. Devon A. Chain. I like Devon A. Chain. The reason he's not an A or S tier, because look at him. He's innocent. He's like 5'11", 180 pounds. He's an innocent guy, smaller guy compared to some of these other guys. And the only reason he's not an A or S tier is because if you get an on foot chase with A Chain, it's over. He's gonna catch you, and you don't want that to happen. So moving on, Weapon X, Brian Dawkins. I want to go D tier, and I'm gonna go D tier because we've all heard the story of Takeo Spikes talking about Brian Dawkins saying, "I wasn't going for the ball, I was going for him."
He was like, Spikes, I'm gonna take his soul. And I was like, what? I'm gonna take his soul. I wanna see how bad he wants to play.
And in this universe, he's not gonna be caring about justice being served, if that makes sense, right? He's not there for justice. He's not there to serve the law. He's there to get you. And I don't like that one bit. That's fucking scary. Especially from a motherfucker named Weapon X. Yeah. Pass. Tua turn the ball over. A tier. He's one of the most wholesome guys in the league. Let's be honest, right? He might not be the best quarterback ever. And that's honestly why he's an A tier. Because he probably would be an awesome officer. Um, he always has a smile on his face, giving his O lineman dope ass presence, his quarterback room dope ass presence. So yeah, I think Tua would be an awesome officer to get pulled over by. Now our first F tier of the video is gonna be my man Nick Bosa. Now we all know the memes, right? I don't think they're memes, and I think if this guy was an officer, and if you happen to be, you know, maybe the same skin tone as Devon A. Chain or Ocho Cinco down here, Bosa's gonna spray you down, with no remorse. Um, I would hate to get pulled over by Bosa. Dude he's gonna flip. Especially the darker you are, the worse it is type of guy. You know. And we're gonna go into another one. Segue right off of that. Richie Incognito, he's even worse. Richie Incognito is a ball knower's dream of racism, essentially. Bullying people in the locker room, bullying gay people, bullying black people specifically, right? And that's not good. Especially for a cop. We know how they get. We don't need any of that, any more of that in the force, right? We want to keep them clean. The streets clean. We want to keep the streets clean, but we don't want to keep the streets clean the way these two do. Okay? So, moving on. Since we spoke about him, Ocho Cinco. A tier. I love Ocho Cinco, man. If you don't listen to Nightcap, it's one of the best football pods out there. He's hilarious. He seems like a wholesome guy, right? Um, I think he has some like issues with women, like cheating on them, maybe, or maybe getting cheated on. I'm not entirely too sure. But Ocho's a G. He'd keep it G. He'd give you what you need. He's not gonna go out his way to, you know, do the most, right? So yeah, Ocho going right into the A tier. Fitzgerald, S tier. We all know about Fitzgerald, right? I mean, this man has more tackles than drops, right? That shows a level of consistency, and I think what he's gonna bring to the force, showing up every day, positive attitude, no complaints type of guy, right? Like he's a multiple Walter Payton Man of the Year winner, so that just shows you his character, and I think he'd be a great addition to our force. Old Man Rivers, this is a tough one. I'm gonna put him in the C tier, and I do this to him because there's a part of me that thinks he's kind of like my boy Incognito and my boy Bosa, right? There's a part of me that thinks that, but he also has like 25 kids, and I don't know if I could see old man Philip doing that to people. I don't know if I could see him sliming people out in the same ways as Incognito, but maybe if Incognito, slimes out, some minority, I could see Philip turning his body cam off too, just to hide the evidence. That's the vibe. He's not going to do it, but he might hide the evidence. Okay. Ray Lewis is going to leave you in a pool of blood. That's pretty self explanatory. I'm not going to go deeper into that. Calais Campbell, B tier. Now, you might be asking yourself, what? Calais, he's Walter Payton Man of the Year, just like Fitz, man. What the heck? He's one of the coolest guys in the NFL. When you see this man roll down your window, you're going to see a 6'9", 320-pound behemoth talking about license and registration, please. And I don't know if I could do that, bro. That's terrifying. Calais Campbell is terrifying. We're lucky he's a nice guy. Okay, if he had the Lawrence Taylor gene in his mind, Calais Campbell would be the greatest defensive player of all time, right? But he's soft. He's a nice guy. He's just moving these guys like a big soft giant. So yeah, B tier. Next on the list, Brock Purdy. Just look at the kid smile, bro. I mean, he's so wholesome, right? Everyone up here is gonna be wholesome, and I don't see Brock Purdy hurting a fly. Now he is a system officer, right? You know, he's not gonna be detecting shit on his own. He's not gonna be doing all this and that. But if you put him in right with the right squadron, he's gonna play his role pretty well, and that's why we like an A tier guy, right? Never doing the most, always doing things correctly. A tier. George Pickens. We've all seen the young boy stance, right? Um, that says enough for me, right? I don't necessarily want to deal with a 6'3", 210-pound beast who's fast as shit and is a crash out, right? And here's an underrated thing about Pickens. Let's say there's a fence and you're a criminal trying to escape. You're gonna have to hit the classic, boost yourself up off the fence. He's gonna bound it. He's gonna leap it in one. He's gonna leap it in one, and you're gonna be fucked, right? He's gonna catch you. Cam Scatabo. Now, he'd be a friendly officer, obviously. He's so cool, right? But I don't know if I can trust him to be safe around a gun. I don't think he'd shoot somebody because of profiling. I don't think he. I think he'd shoot him because he's scared and he's kind of dumb, right? Like he's gonna hear a big loud noise. It's gonna go, and he's gonna go what the, and shoot someone. So Scatabo's kind of a dummy, right? That's why. But you love to see a good dummy on the police force. Nothing against the kid. Quinn Miners. Now, if you haven't seen Quinn Miners, he has his big stomach out and he's real raunchy looking. I don't really know how to feel about him. I'm a Broncos fan. So I love him. He's an all pro guard, right? But similar category as these guys, I don't trust it. I just don't trust it, man. I feel like he is going to do some things that might start a movement, a political movement of some sort, and I don't like that at all. Jalen Hurts is a D tier. Let me explain why Jalen Hurts is a D tier. Now, he's not gonna forcefully abuse you or seize his power in any type of way. Like he's not gonna seize your power from you. He's not gonna be a force, right, to hurt you. But he's gonna pull you over. You're gonna be going. First of all, he's the type of guy you're gonna be going 7 miles per hour over. He's gonna pull you over, and then when he pulls you over, he's gonna come to your car and say, "You know why I pulled you over today? When preparation meets the road, you got to conquer that, and you didn't conquer that preparation today, and that's why I had to pull you over." He's gonna turn everything into a fucking motivational speech. He's gonna try to give you life advice, bro. I'm trying to get to work. You know, I don't need to hear this right now. Preparation is when luck and opportunity meet, right? I don't want to hear that shit, dog. I'm trying to go to my work and be done. He's gonna give you, and he's gonna take forever to write the citation. Ask you about your day because he thinks he's a nice guy, but he's really not. He's just a schmuck. Okay, Jalen Hurts, you're terrible. Now, last, DeKalen, Kadarius Metcalf, or however you say his fucking name, right? Well, see, he's probably gonna kill me if he sees this because I called him DeKalen Kadarius. If you didn't see, he recently punched a fan in the face for that. That's not why he's here though. DK, let's just say you're at the mall with your boys and you're about to hit a stain, right? Some stain on some Truey jeans. Get you some Truey jeans, some nice leather pants. I don't know what the fuck you kids be wearing nowadays, right? But Decarius is the officer at that place, and it's you and 100 yards until you're free.
Baker, Buda Baker out in front. Can Metcalf track him down? Can he chase him down? And he does to save a touchdown. But what a play by Baker, intended for Carson. Wilson lofted.
He's catching you every time, and he's also a crash out. Like I think the difference between DK and George Pickens is when George Pickens catches you, or when Devon A-Chain catches you, you're under arrest, right? You're just under arrest. With DK, you're gonna have a knee on your neck, a knee on your back. You're gonna be in a full Nelson. You're gonna be in a walls of Jericho, pleading, Decarius, please let me go. Right? I would hate to be arrested by DK Metcalf. He's a crash out. He's proven this a million times. That's going to be all for today's tier list video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any recommendations down below for any future videos I should do, I'm just starting the channel, right? This is my first video. You guys might be able to tell. I don't know. But go ahead and drop them down in the comments below what you want to see next. I'm open to all sorts of content. So, I'm just getting started. Peace.